leadership of the African Business Chamber, United Kingdom, are currently meeting virtually on the theme, which focuses on boosting trade linkages and value chains between the United Kingdom and Africa, unlocking and capturing new business growth opportunities. The coronavirus pandemic has created much disruption, doom, and gloom to many businesses globally, whether big or small. However, it has also pushed other regions in the world, especially the African continent, to find alternative solutions, transforming Africa's supply chains and exploring new economic opportunities. Additionally, with the continuous growing uncertainty from Brexit and COVID-19, many UK companies are actively looking towards African countries to explore new investment and business opportunities. And this summit brings together UK firms, trade organizations, and the continent's trailblazing and crisis-proof businesses. It will also focus on the launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, showcasing economic opportunities in the African region for global companies, seeking new channels and consumer market for growth, improving and promoting gender equality, changes in local business climate, key trends, and best practices to operate successfully in the continent. As experts continue to unlock and capture new business opportunities and investments in the age of Brexit and COVID-19, will Africa be the key partner of the United Kingdom? Joining us now to discuss all of this is Eugene Nizeyimana, CEO, African Business Chamber, who is joining us from the United Kingdom. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on the Morning Show.
Good morning. Thank you to have me.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, quickly, do you want to tell us what the Trade and Investment Summit for this year is all about, and how the conversation is going? And then, of course, in the context of Brexit and COVID-19, what should Africa worry about? The uncertainty, the double uncertainty that we have, or all of this could translate into opportunities for trade and investment in Africa?
So the African Business Chamber was established with two missions: to empower African-owned businesses in the UK and also to champion multilateral trade between UK and Africa. So the summit is a build-up to the momentum that was established back in January during the UK and Africa Investment Summit, where we've seen a lot of initiative established to boost and enhance trade between the UK and Africa, which we were seeing that has declined in the last 20 years. And also as part of Brexit, where the UK now is looking to reestablish new relationship with global players, new markets. So this summit is focused on this area. So many things have happened since the summit in January. We've seen the establishment of Africa Investors Group that is led by Her Majesty Emma Wade, the trade envoy to Africa, who was on the summit yesterday, shared some of the insight on the things they are doing. We've seen the Prime Minister Boris Johnson appointing new trade envoy across Africa and extending some of the responsibility, including some Rod Poppert, who's been responsibility as extended as trade envoy to Uganda, Rwanda, and DRC. So the UK is re-engaging and in a better way, and also they are looking to engage non-Commonwealth countries like Cameroon, DRC, Namibia, Angola, Mozambique, and other countries including Tanzania, Ethiopia. Of course, also enhance the existing relationship with countries like Nigeria, who is the biggest trading partner in addition to South Africa and all those. So in terms of the world, of course, COVID-19 has transformed and reshaped the global economy and the supply chain. And the companies, especially global OEMs and the players, are looking to diversify their supply chain, moving away the dependency on China as the source of manufacturing or supply, and looking new ways that, and Africa present that opportunity. 1.2 billion population growing, expected to grow to 2 billion by 2050, present a good opportunity for cheap labor huge market for manufacturing products and all those, and the fast-growing consumer class, technology penetration. We've seen a lot of, especially COVID-19 has highlighted the needs to enhance African healthcare systems and services. We've seen the new focus on food and agro industry to try and minimize the risk of food security. So these are the opportunities, and of course, FCT came into perspective, and also with the focus to enhance intra-regional trade, to help African countries to trade better between themselves rather than focusing on exporting the global market. So this FCT will open up a new opportunity. In the summit yesterday, we talked about huge investment into infrastructure, East African corridor, Northern corridor, lots of pipeline, refining pipeline coming into line next year. We also have a lot of investment into food processing and in Ghana, Senegal, Tanzania, lots of things happening in addition to supporting, enhancing existing industries like mining to ensure that there's value created locally to empower the local communities.
Right. A lot of people will look at you and say, great initiative you have, but most importantly, one of the challenges with Africa has always been adding value to raw materials. Because most of the trade we have is still pretty much coming to take our raw materials, put value on it, and come back to sell it on the continent with big amount of money. I mean, a case in point is that video that went viral on a cocoa farmer in Côte d'Ivoire that didn't even know what a chocolate looked like when he was shown a chocolate. I mean, how can we help to add better value to our products right in Africa?
And this is where we are also adding value in terms of changing this narrative. So by channeling investment, we are also educating global companies and investors that they know the investment should be in line with local requirement and also adding value locally. So, for example, not just with the African Chamber of Commerce, I'm also the CEO of SSD Consulting, and one of the activity we've been doing, we've been working various companies, especially manufacturing and food processing, to establish local processing facilities. So we have we champion quite a lot of investment into processing facilities in Ghana. Recently, I was in Tanzania, where we've been working with various local partners and investors to invest in processing facilities for cashew nuts in Tanzania and all those. And also, as you see, there is also change in that shift, especially with Dangote championing the refining of oil in Nigeria to stop export of raw material or raw commodities to be processed abroad and then sold back. And I know cocoa crisis has been a huge issue, and Ghana and Ivory Coast and Cameroon are discussing various ways the government can support to stop exploitation of our raw materials. So it's a huge area of interest, and the narrative is shifting, and part of the conference is also to educate global companies that Africa is changing, the expectations are changing. We need to see more done locally. We need to see more job created locally. We need to see more companies investing in enhancing local value chain. Recently, last month, I hosted a forum on enhancing African automotive industry, engaging players like South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Rwanda, Uganda, Kenya. Those are countries now are working hard to create a conducive environment for local automotive assembly locally. Hopefully that will also reduce the import of used cars rather than, which will create also value in the region, and also employment opportunity, and in addition to enhancing regional economies.
Well, there seems to be a renewed scramble for Africa, particularly in the area of investment and trade. You have Japan, you have China. Now, UK says it should be the choice, the major choice for investment for African countries. But we have also had issues. What, in your view, should be the major priorities for African leaders? Should it be partnership, or should it be aid, or should it be loans? And what specific areas should African leaders begin to concentrate on in order to ensure that we get the best out of this partnership with the rest of the world?
Of course, Africa faces huge challenges, and we've seen it over the years, and especially in terms of governance and the leadership. And we continue to be criticized and undermined due to corruption, poor governance in the region, and how some of this trade relationship has been agreed, or some of the investments are structured, which benefit more international players than locally. So of course, charity begins at home. We need to look ourselves as Africa. We need to transform our leadership to make sure that to eliminate some selfishness within the leadership, to make sure that leaders are looking in the interest of adding value, empowering communities, making sure that we deploy the best practice, good governance. We are talking about ESG, ethical, sustainable governance, and the impact investment, where we need to not just looking at making profit, but also in terms of creating opportunity for local communities, jobs, and things like that. So leadership has been a challenge, and some of these issues are not going to be solved in one night. We need collective effort, structure more mutual beneficial agreement that will benefit both Africa and, of course, international investors and the players, to make sure it's a win-win situation, collaborative effort, and also countries, we are educating them in terms of not just bilateral trade, multilateral trade. And talking about it, of course, Africa will still call it the last frontier that is full of opportunities, and that's why you've seen a rise in interest from global players, like we mentioned, China, India, Turkey, Russia, and the West are waking up to reality that they are lagging behind in terms of engagement. So we've seen huge impact of China investment in infrastructure and many activities, and Britain now is realizing that Brexit is going to offer better opportunity for them to work better, re-establish better with African countries, and get them to get to understand African needs better. Because also, as you know, we have Africa 2064. We've got each country now, they're establishing their national priorities, and we need to make sure they understand what we need, so that these discussions are effective and inclusive.
Right. Africa 2063 agenda by that's the AU, the African Union, is something that's been on the front burner because it will be exactly 100 years since our founding fathers in Africa, the likes of Sekou Touré and Kwame Osagyefo Nkrumah of Ghana, sat around in 63, to move a way forward for Africa as regards what the continent will be like. How will trade impact on this? And I'm going to say in two dimensions. At first, I want us to look at connectivity when it comes to, moving around the continent in Africa. I can still get a direct flight, correct me if I'm wrong, from Lagos to Cameroon now. It's quite very difficult, from Lagos to Yaoundé. It's quite a difficult one. It's better for me to fly from Germany to Yaoundé than fly from Lagos to Yaoundé. So connectivity is a very big problem across the continent. So how can we ease out that and ensure that we open up Africa even more for one another? Because we don't even travel around the continent enough as Africans. We don't travel around enough.
So one of key pillars, of course, some of the key pillars of Africa 2063 is mainly, one of the key is industrialization, which hopefully will increase productivity in terms of manufacturing, processing, value chain. So industrialization, we're looking about adopting better and advanced technology, which we've been discussing in various forums to make sure that Africa industries also adopt better technology. You've seen the investment in internet infrastructure across Africa. Hopefully also that will improve connectivity. We've seen also a lot of investment in new airline and new air routes, like Air Rwanda has been expanding across Africa. Now it's easy to travel from Kigali to Lagos to Abuja. And it's also, this is also creating new competition. By launching Air Rwanda, we've seen Air Tanzania, Air Uganda, all of them being launched, and the other players. So these are things, and some of the discussion, of course, is looking how we can improve some of these air travel routes, because some of them were historically negotiated during colonization, when you had to travel from, like you mentioned, from Nigeria to Cameroon, you have to go through Paris and all those. So it's also, we are advising government to look into this, to make sure that we build the new infrastructure that will help us connect locally. So hopefully with the trade, we will see a lot of investment into transport infrastructure from Nigeria to Cameroon or East Africa. There's a lot of going on by African Union and the African Development Bank, including UK, CDC, and the Export Finance, that have invested in a lot in infrastructure. Roads, railway, we are still, Kenya just launched new rail gauge from Mombasa to Kampala. We have Northern Corridor from Lamu to Juba, which hopefully will go up to Cairo. We have Central Corridor that come from Dar es Salaam to Kigali to Eastern DRC. And then we have Southern Corridors all the way to Joburg and a few other lines. So there are going to be a lot of investment in infrastructure, in the processing facility, industrialization. I know FDB is very keen, and the president, the former minister, Nigerian minister, is very passionate about also championing agri-industry in Africa, and he's put aside a huge investment to promote development of agri-value chain, which at the moment Africa import around 100, food worth around 100 billion. It's a shame to see some of these things we import. We can grow them locally. Nigeria importing chicken from Brazil, or Kenya importing fish from China. These are things we can produce locally. So quite a lot of things. Seeing Tanzania now just taken a step to stop export of cashew nuts to Vietnam and India, rather than being processed locally into other commodities. So there's a huge potential. We need to work together collaboratively, both private and the public sector, engage international players to also create both local and international market, but also at the same time continue to attract international inward investment. Not to forget about the diaspora direct investment remittance, which is also a huge opportunity. We are engaging a lot of diaspora in the UK to make sure they are channeling their investment or their fund into more productive sectors of economies.
Thank you very much, Eugene, for joining us on the morning show. Although there is no more time, I would have loved to take your thoughts on the WTO Director General selection process. And the fact that we now have we have two women, we have Africa, we have Asia.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eugene.
It's a good one. We just seen Ngozi just progress to the final, and we wish her the best, and hopefully she can champion the next stage and also reforming WTO.
That's great. Thanks for that support. We'll really take it and appreciate it.